Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to The Source, your source for celebrity news. Alright, check it out. It appears that somebody's still over there playing around on Foolio's Instagram. But here's the thing. The other day they posted a video of Foolio popping up out of a coffin during a wrestling match. And under the video there was a caption that said, "My grandmother does voodoo." Now I know, somebody out there is like, "Source, we already saw it, we don't care, you're late." Yeah, well, here's the thing. That's not the story. The story is this. Somebody who took a screenshot of that particular image when that post went up says that when they look back at their picture, they saw a picture of Yungeen Ace's face. Check this out.
And when I went to go screenshot it, just so I could get the "my grandma do voodoo" part, it shows Yungeen Ace's face. Now, I watched the video 20 times. I couldn't see Yungeen Ace's face. But when I screenshotted the video to get "my grandma do voodoo," Yungeen Ace's face pops up. Am I the only one? Like, I'm watching the video. I didn't see Yungeen Ace's face one time. But if you screenshot it, you can see Yungeen Ace's face. This is some spooky stuff, man.
Yo, what in the world is going on? Listen, if anybody else took a screenshot of that video and they just so happen to see Yungeen Ace's face popping out of that coffin, can you please let me know? Listen, I gotta know what's going on here. I need to know whether we're dealing with some earthly stuff or if we're dealing with like demons and principalities. But I tell you this much, no matter what they're over there doing, I don't play that mess. So I'm gonna go ahead and plead the blood of Jesus so we can knock all of that negative energy right off the internet right now. Anyhow, after the person said that they saw the face switch up, somebody else came in the comment section and was like, "I see it too, fam, no cap." And then after that, a whole bunch of people came in the comment section and one person was like, "I don't claim any bad energy from this, but Ace needs to start praying to God cause some fishy is going on." And then somebody else was like, "This stuff is getting very weird. What's really going on, fam?" And then after that, somebody else was like, "2024, Florida is undefeated. I love Foolio's peeps for this." Well listen, I don't love Foolio's peeps for this, because I don't believe in playing with the dead. Once a person leaves this earth, let God determine their final resting place and let that be that. I mean, it's one thing to post a promo video to make a little money for the funeral, but it's a whole different thing to start posting resurrection videos and claiming that some voodoo ritual has brought this young man back from the dead. I mean, if you ask me, this isn't funny and it's bordering on pure evil. And while we're speaking of pure evil, despite the fact that there are young children who use the internet and social media, Yungeen Ace's associate Foolio Sosa, who is also a member of ATK, thought that it would be a good idea to post an image of Foolio deceased, slumped over in the backseat of his car right after the shooting. I guess he wanted to prove once and for all that Foolio was in fact unalived. Well now, people are looking at Foolio Sosa with the side eye because they're like, "Yo, how'd you get that photo?" Because that photo occurred as soon as that man was shot. So you were either on the scene or you know somebody who was on the scene, which means that most likely you know who did it. I don't know if the fact that Foolio Sosa posted the picture online necessarily means that he was in on it, because he could have gotten that picture a number of different ways. But it does show you that he wanted to disrespect Foolio one last time, which is most likely because Foolio was trolling him, his brother Queso, and their father for snitching during one of his lives before he died.
Wait about me every day, boy. I ain't gonna help your brother or something, man. I'm in the county, PC. Daddy snitching, telling on all y'all lies. Hey, stop fucking with y'all lies. He know finna come. Y'all all up right now, man. Y'all finna get left dead out this bitch for a minute. Hey, free little face go though, man. This shit sad. All your homeboys telling on y'all lies, so.
Listen, let me know in the comments, do you think that the fact that Foolio Sosa, Queso's brother, had that picture in his possession to post on the internet directly connects him to the crime? Let me know in the comments, and while you're down there leaving a comment, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Now, while I'm not going to show you the image of Foolio laying dead in his car, I will describe some things to you. So, it looks as if Foolio tried to jump over the front seats to get to the back seats of the car in a last-ditch attempt to shield himself and dodge himself from the rain of bullets that were being sprayed at the vehicle from front to back. And unfortunately, he was unable to duck and dodge those bullets. Now, according to a YouTuber named Godfear TV, a witness who claims to have been at the scene of the crime when Foolio got murked, said the following. They said, "I was there and seen it all. I will forever remember the early morning hours of June 24th, 2024. I was standing outside smoking a cigarette in the smoking section because the Holiday Inn didn't have smokers rooms and I didn't want to take the risk of them charging me for smoke damage from my debit card account. So, I noticed the all-black sports car, Julio's car, about 7 or 8 feet away from me. I really didn't think much about it because it's a hotel and cars frequently maneuver in the parking lots. I was outside for maybe 2 minutes when all of a sudden 2 presidential all-black SUVs pulled into the parking lot following a couple of more sports cars. One SUV pulled in, went around the parking lot, and out of sight of my view as the other maneuvered around and made a U-turn. Still didn't think anything suspicious until this grayish car pulls in at a high rate of speed and pulls up about 10 feet from the sports car, Julio's car. It was at that very moment that the black SUV that pulled out of my sight of view all of a sudden starts driving towards me and blocks in the black sports car, Julio's car from the back. All doors popped open and began pow-powing at Julio's car, and I just took off running, trying to get cover. I just knew I was dead, and this was my ending, but God has the last say-so all the time. As I'm running towards the back side of the Holiday Inn, I duck for cover behind a brick wall structure that stations a dumpster, and I just balled up in fetal position and prayed for my life that I didn't get hit. I honestly thought that the shooters were gonna come and finish me off because I seen it when it all went down. The shot stopped and it was a ruckus of people hollering, yelling, and screaming gestures. I can hear someone saying, "I'm one of them, it's me. Come here, I'm hit. But nobody said anything about calling for any type of help at all. You can hear cars pulling off, loud engines, burning tires and all. When I felt that it was safe to come out from around the wall, I immediately seen a man's body laying next to the black sports car that was directly in front of me, and I've never seen anything like that in my life. Not even in the movies have I seen a sight like that, and it replays in my mind back to back. Every time I close my eyes to go to sleep, the horrible scene replays across my mind. No one ever even came to check on the body to see who was hit or who needs help until first responders arrived at the scene." You know something? You know what's interesting to me? If this person is in fact telling the truth, and none of Foolio's peoples went up to that car to check to see whether or not he was alright, then that means that most likely the cops leaked that photo, or Foolio's ops actually did take that last picture of him dead in the car, because once the first responders arrive on the scene, none of his friends are getting close enough to that car to take that picture. And if that's the case, the police really need to track down who sent Foul Sosa that picture. Now, I know a lot of people are like, wait a minute, but that account does not match the picture of the suspect that's been going around online. Source, can we please see the picture of the suspect? According to the photo, which appears to be a snapshot taken from a video, you can see someone in a blue shirt posted up at close range in front of Foolio's car and getting trigger happy with the Draco at exactly 4:37 a.m. in the parking lot. Alright, so shortly after that photo surfaced, somebody named Ramo reposted the photo and also wrote, "New photo has surfaced online of one of the alleged suspects in the Foolio pow-powing. Look." And then, shortly after that, whoever's controlling Foolio's account jumped in the comment section and liked the comment and then wrote demigod. Now, here's the problem. If you really look closely at that picture, even though it has the timestamp, there are a couple of things in that picture that don't actually line up with the actual location of the pow-powing. And there have been a couple of people on YouTube who have actually taken the opportunity to point those things out. Check this out.
Guess what? If you pay attention down on the ground, right, where the alleged shooter is running, something stands out. It's like 6 squares right on the ground. And I'm like, that's something that should stick out. So I said, hey, let's take a look at the footage. Now, pay attention closely, and y'all tell me, is something missing from this video?
Like that? Other type.
Now, I don't never portray to be the brightest crayon in the box. However, I do not see, and I was actually incorrect, it's more than 6 squares on the ground. I don't see none of that over there on the ground at all. Now, this is what appears to be the same location, right? Or what should be the same location. if we're being factual about it, right? When the car was making that right to go to the stop sign, I don't see those squares on the ground. I also don't see that type of tree in that area. And I'm just like, do people even look for real at the stuff they be posting and running with? And y'all tell me I'm from clicks and views. Like, that's crazy. But anyway, truth team, I'm gonna let y'all know. I'm gonna say it here, okay? In my opinion, that is not the scene from Foolio shooting. It's a scene from somewhere, just not that shooting.
Listen, I wasn't there. I wasn't like in Tampa hanging off the side of the building like a neighborhood Spider-Man watching the whole thing go down. So I don't really know what happened. But I would tend to agree that that is not a picture from the actual pow-powing. Because when you pull up a picture of the actual location where Foolio's car got sprayed, there are no bricks next to the stop sign in that location. So unless Foolio's hitters went to Home Depot, bought up some bricks, put them down there, drove over them, jumped out the car, pow-powed them real quick, picked up the bricks and put them in a trunk, then that cannot possibly be an image of Foolio getting pow-powed. Now, with that being said, the person who I'd really like to speak to is Foolio's girlfriend, because her car was parked less than 10 feet from his car when he got sprayed, which tells me that she originally had a bird's eye view to see everything that was going on. Source, can you please show that video which shows where her car was in relation to his car when everything went down? Now, as you can see, Foolio's girlfriend's car was less than 10 feet away from his car when he got pow-powed. And her car is facing in the exact direction that would allow her to see exactly who in the world was running up on his car. And I know, somebody's gonna come into the comment section like, Source, how you know whether or not that's Foolio's girlfriend's car? Because the very next day, the cops allowed her to come get some of her stuff out the car. And the cops are not going to let you get something out of somebody else's car. Especially when that car is taped up inside of a murder scene.
Foolio. As y'all can see, that is her being able to take things up out of the car, and those are also Foolio's balloons in the trunk, and that's Foolio car over there. So she was there being able to get stuff out of her car. This same picture right here, she actually uploaded on the 22nd, and it's in Foolio's death attire. The shirt he had on, the hat that he had on. So she was with Foolio the night, and then after he died, she reposted it.
Okay, first off, I think it's mad weird that Tampa police are just letting people walk in and out of the crime scene and go all up in and out of those cars without doing any forensics on those cars. I mean, real talk, since when do you let the girlfriend who was there when the whole thing happened potentially tamper with the evidence? As far as I'm concerned, she's got some splaining to do. Now, let me be clear. I'm not saying that Foolio's girlfriend had anything to do with it, but I do think that she's a key witness. And if you allow me to get my Kojak on for a minute, I'ma break this down. The location and condition of her car tells me a few important things. Like 1, the shooters were laser focused on their target, Foolio, because her car does not have not one bullet hole in it. 2, when the hitters drove up, her vision was not obstructed because her windshield is 100% intact. So there was no spray coming her way that would prevent her from seeing something. 3, all 4 of those doors are wide open, so there were at least 4 people in her car that peeled off in every different direction and hid in that parking lot who also probably saw something too. And 4, the hitters were not concerned with her or the other people in her car getting away because they didn't send any spray her way. Because if they did, her car would have been over there looking like Swiss cheese with a whole bunch of holes in it, similar to her man's car. But as you can see, even though there's a little like scuff on the bumper, now one window is broken in that car, which begs the question, how in the world did Foolio shooters hit up his car like 20 some odd times, but yet they gave the girlfriend who was parked like 10 feet away a free pass. I don't know, I just find that interesting because it leads me to believe that there was a bag on Julio Foolio's head and the hitters that hit him were only concerned with hitting a target that was gonna get them paid for that bag. Now, really quick, before I go, let me ask you a question. Immediately after Julio Foolio got hit, Yungeen Ace dropped his videos which made it seem like he was behind the hit. But the truth is, it may not have been him. So here's the question, which makes Yungeen Ace cornier? If he actually did do it, or if he didn't do it, but tried to take credit for doing it? Let me know in the comments. Listen, let me know what you think about somebody posting Julio Foolio popping up out of the casket on his Instagram page, and then other people saying that they saw that face morph into Yungeen Ace's. Also, let me know what you think about Foul Out Sosa posting a pic of Julio Foolio unalive in his car during his last moments on Earth. Do you think that that makes him a chief suspect? Also, let me know what you think about the witness who claims that they saw it all, and the alleged picture of the circulating on the internet. Do you think that that's real, or do you think it's fake? Think about the bricks. And last but not least, let me know what you think about Julio Foolio's girlfriend being at the scene of the crime with her car running less than 10 feet away from where her boo passed away. Do you think that she's a key witness who saw everything that happened? Let me know what you think about that in the comments, and while you're down there leaving a comment, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends. Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to The Source, your source for celebrity news. Peace.